Hi YouTube friends, gardeners. I hope everybody's doing good. I just wanted to jump on here real quick and talk to you all about some things that's been going on in my life and the garden, of course. That's the whole reason I started this channel, was to just kind of share information about the garden and encourage people that wanted to do a garden to know that they absolutely can do a garden. I mainly started this channel to encourage people that worked full-time and had the notion that they could not do a garden. I really wanted to encourage those people that they absolutely can do a garden. So anyway, I have not been on here for a while. I have not done, I don't even remember the last time I done a video, honestly. It was back when I was probably planting onion seeds, maybe back in the cooler months. I don't really remember, but anyway, there's been a lot of things going on in my life since then, and I really want to get back to making videos, but I have dreaded doing this video so much that I have just procrastinated doing it. So I'm probably gonna have to stop this video a couple times to get through it. Anyway, I wanted to get a video out there. I've had a couple people asking me what's going on, why I haven't posted any videos of the garden this year, and if I was going to continue doing videos. And so I really wanted to just get on here and kind of get a little bit of information out there. What's going on, why I haven't posted any videos of the garden this year, and if I was going to continue doing videos. And so I really wanted to just get on here and kind of get a little bit of information out there so that people would know what's kind of been going on, why I haven't been doing any videos. We've had a death in the family that has literally just knocked the wind out of our sails. It's knocked the wind out of my sails. The death of my oldest daughter, it was not expected. It was completely and totally unexpected. And so I've had a really hard time wanting to get on here and explain that to everybody. And actually, I'm not going to go into the details of that. You know, that's part of my personal life, and I just really want to get enough information out there so that people are not worried and people are not wondering if I'm going to do videos and, you know, why I haven't been doing videos. I really just wanted to explain that. So we lost our daughter. It's been almost 3 months ago now, and so honestly I've not really wanted to do videos. Not really wanted to do much of anything, but I do want to get back to gardening, and I have done some gardening. You know, gardening is my therapy. I have done some gardening, but the garden is not what it usually is this time of year. I've not put a whole lot of time into it, although I have been doing some gardening. I do want to get back to that. So our lives have just completely changed. Everything has changed. My oldest daughter's teenagers have come to live here, so we've had a lot of change going on. So anyway, I really just wanted to let everybody know what's been going on and get on with gardening. So I am going to do just a little quick garden tour today and show you kind of what's been going on. So I had started some plants from seed back in the winter, you know, before anything ever happened. And so I had a lot of plants that needed to be planted, and I liked the motivation to get them planted. So I actually gave a lot of them away this year, but I have planted some, and the ones that I did plant, I didn't put a whole lot of effort into taking care of them in the best way, I guess you could say. You know, most things like tomatoes and cucumbers, all of those things, when I grow those things, I usually have them going up trellises. The trellises in the raised beds, I didn't even put those up until I put one up yesterday. and tried to get some of the stuff that was just kind of way overgrown out into the yard to go up the trellis. So it's kind of an afterthought. So what I've done is when I planted stuff, I literally just kind of threw everything into the garden with not much thought as to where it was going or anything. I did put tomatoes up against the tomato trellises back here behind me. You can see those. Those trellises were already up. I didn't take them down from last year. So I did get those right. I didn't do anything to the soil. I didn't put in any kind of fertilizer. I literally did not do anything but throw them in the ground and cover them up and prayed over them. Prayed that they would grow, because I've not amended the soil. I've not done much of anything. And the raised beds out in the extra lot though, all of those have been amended. My granddaughter helped me do that. Gosh, that was back in the cool weather months too. So most of those have been done, and I have since added a strawberry bed. So anyway, I'm going to take you around and show you a little bit about what's going on in the garden. Gardening does make me feel better. Like I said, gardening is my therapy. So I hope you all understand, and I hope you all continue to watch my videos. You know, I told my husband when I first started doing this that I hoped that one day this gardening cooking channel could, you know, hopefully be part of my retirement when I decide to retire from work. And I still want it to be that. So it's my hope that I can kind of develop this channel over the course of the next several years into something that will be not just nice to do for me when I retire, but profitable. I would like to eventually get monetized and all of those things if I can get enough attention. So I don't know, we will see. I'll be praying about it and just trust that the Lord will lead. So anyway, let's get looking at the garden, y'all. Just keep in mind, like I said, it's a bit of a mess. I want to tell you all about this Spectracide Bag-A-Bug, you guys. This is the first year that I have not had June bugs all over everything. These things work like charms. There are bugs in that thing all the way up to there. It needs to be emptied. But it works by a little scent thing here. It really smells good. It smells like flowers. So you put that there and the bugs get on this slick plastic and they slide down in the bag and can't get back out. It is the coolest thing ever, and it has kept the June bugs off of almost everything this year. You can see my rose looks horrible. I mean horrible. It's this rose has gone through a couple of things. I'll talk about it maybe in a separate video about the way that it has done. This rose has developed some kind of black spot disease, and so it has taken off almost all of the leaves, and I have not treated it. I did treat it in the spring, but I've not treated it since then, and this one is experiencing the same things. So they look horrible, and they need to be treated again. But quite honestly, I've just not had time to fool with it. I've got some cardboard down here trying to kill some weeds, but I had some potatoes in this. Still have potatoes in that. The other one, I just harvested the potatoes also. And then the last one has potatoes. So the two that I harvested, I just went ahead and made some potato salad out of last night, and it turned out fabulous. As soon as these develop a little bit more, I will harvest those. So this raised bed here has just got some flowers, and it's got a melon here. And even though I do have it labeled, the sun has already worn off the marker. So this is going to be some kind of melon. I think it may be the Petit Gris du Rhin, which is probably my favorite melon. I've got a pumpkin growing there. And I cannot remember the kind of pumpkin that it is either. And that thing's already starting to get sprawled out. And then there's another melon over here beside the pumpkin. I've got the beautiful flowers going on, of course. It's just pretty. I just love the colors in that. Look at the orange on the tips. Just gorgeous. And then this is some kind of little miniature sunflower. They're really pretty. None of the flowers have done really well this year. Got plenty of weeds. And this one here, I believe, is another pumpkin. Like I said, I tried to label all of this stuff whenever I put it out, but the sun has already bleached the marker off of the labels. I've got some marigolds, some more sunflowers. None of the sunflowers have done well. This one is dying. This nasturtium is doing really well though. It's beautiful. And about the only other thing I have over here are tomatoes. So the tomatoes are just now starting to develop. I have heirlooms, I have a couple hybrids, and then I have some cherry tomatoes. The cherry tomatoes have already been turning the proper color to harvest. Those are full-size tomatoes, and again, some of them I don't know what they are, but that one is the Bella Rosa. It's still labeled. I've been trying to go around and take better care of them and take off all of the brown and yellow leaves. I've not done a real good job of it. You can see over here, this one is one of the cherry tomatoes. It's got tomatoes all over it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, all of them in that row are cherry tomatoes. That's a cherry tomato, and they are starting to turn. I love the way they grow in little clusters, almost like grapes. Got some beautiful zinnias growing. And the only other thing in this row is a sunflower that has not done too well. Like I said, I've not planted a whole lot of stuff, and what I have planted just kind of got through in. And then of course there's always volunteers growing somewhere. That right there is the, I think it's called vanilla spice basil, I'm pretty sure, and it smells fabulous. So that's about all that's over here in the in-ground garden. Now we'll go over here and take a trip to the raised bed. The greenhouse is a complete wreck. We're not even going to look at it. But I've got some blueberries. One of my blueberry bushes died, but this one has done really well. I've already picked off of this one several times. The blueberries are not really big per se, but they are delicious. So it's done really good. I've got a random tomato plant over here. I don't even know what kind it is. I don't really care. I love all tomatoes. I'll eat it. This rose has not done very well either. This was the Joseph's Coat rose, which is a rose that is multicolored, and it is one of the most gorgeous roses I've ever seen in bloom. I wish I had taken better care of it, but I'm going to get it over that fungus. I think everything around here has it, and hopefully next year it'll do better. I have some flowers that I planted. None of the sunflowers have done good. The zinnias, those things can live through anything, I believe. This first bed here is my strawberry bed, and I can see right now that something has had its way with my daggone strawberry. It makes me so mad. Wait on one to get ripe, and before you can get back to get it, something's done and eat it. I need to put something around this to keep stuff out of it. But anyway, I have had several strawberries out of this plant bed this year. This bed back behind the strawberry bed is just kind of a mixed bag of all kinds of stuff. It's got tomatoes, it's got melons, it has flowers, it's got several things. I have not harvested anything out of this one yet, but you can see it's got lots of stuff going on. So I have tomatoes, and I think those are, let's see, this one with the potato leaf is the Soldaki. That's the one I couldn't think of the name of. So the Soldaki is a really delicious tomato. That's a cauliflower underneath. It did not do well. The bugs got it. What the bugs didn't get, the tomato has taken over. And we've got some melons growing right here. And I saw a melon the other day. There's one right there. There's another small one right there. And again, I don't know what kind of melons they are. There might be a label in there somewhere. Another random tomato growing right there with another nasturtium. This nasturtium has not done as well, probably because it's in a pot. Let's see what that one is. That one is a super steak. That's the first year I've grown those, so we'll see how those do. They're supposed to get really big. I don't know that it will in this pot though. That's a raspberry in the back. It's called a double gold raspberry. This will be the first year that it has produced. This rose bush is suffering some damage also. I've already trimmed it way back. It did have a lot of blooms on it though. This is the other strawberry bed. Look at those strawberries. And I have this one covered up so stuff cannot get in it. Isn't that beautiful? I'll come back and pick those in a few minutes. It's got several. I usually put those in my yogurt and granola in the mornings. They are so good, so much better than store-bought. And over here, here's the two raised beds, and just like I said, they are really, I literally just threw stuff in there willy-nilly, left and right, just trying to get everything planted so that it wouldn't die. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that trellis. Let me see if I can get where you can see that better. I literally just threw it up yesterday at the last minute, trying to get stuff up on it so that it would not die. So this bed here has tomatoes, it has melons, it had some cauliflower that never produced. This melon, I do not know what it is. I mean, not melon, this pumpkin. This is a pumpkin plant, and this thing is just completely taken over. I need to get in there and trim some of that out to make room for some other stuff. I also have a sugar doll melon, if you can see that, growing in there, and you can see, compare the size of my hand to it. It's not really big yet, but it's getting there. I'm excited to have some melons. The melons don't always do well. And this will be the first year I've been able to grow pumpkins as well. I've tried them a few times. There's a little pumpkin growing in there. And then I've got a good size one right there. And then another one down here that's even bigger. Isn't that pretty? I'm excited about the pumpkins. This is the cauliflower that did not do well. It just never did produce. I think I got it in the dirt a little late. This is some cosmos, and it is just absolutely gorgeous, and the bees and the pollinators love it. Same thing over here. This is some flowers. These are different kinds of zinnias. I forget what it was called. It's something mix, I believe. And the pollinators love them. Look how beautiful those are. All the different color variations. Gorgeous. So this was cilantro. that has turned to coriander because it got too hot for it. I had lots of beets planted. None of them has really made it to fruition. The onion's done super well at first, and you can see by the size of some of the bulbs, some of them are still doing well, but it's like they stopped growing when it got hot, and I did not know they were supposed to do that, but that's what mine done. You can see under the pumpkin, more of them. Another pumpkin. The pumpkins are really mass producing. And there's some red onions down in there. I probably need to pull some of those out. Oh, I see a watermelon. Look at that. Now that's exciting. That's exciting. Oh, I see another pumpkin in there. A couple more tomato plants down there. And I almost passed this up, but here is my grapes. You can't see them really well, but they are in there. This will be the first year my grapes have actually produced. And last but not least, I transplanted my berries this year because they were in front of the raised beds and they were causing too much shade. And so this one looked okay. This is the Raspberry Heritage. It looked okay at first when we first transplanted it. That was back in the cooler months. And then it just said, hey, I'm done. And it quit growing and it's dying. The blackberry, however, has done pretty well. It's like the left side is doing wonderful and the right side is not. The right side has died off, so I'll trim off all that dead and this thing will pick up and continue to grow next year. But anyway, that's about it. So it is super hot here, so I'm going to go ahead and close out. It is 92 in the shade, so it's super hot. So I hope you all have enjoyed the tour, even though it's not much this year. It's still a garden. It's still fun. It's still a blessing from the Lord, and it still grows miraculously, even though I have not done a whole lot to take care of it. It is growing fabulously. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope you're growing some awesome, fabulous food. God bless you.